Stopped off at the gas station getting some diesel. So our stock portfolio right now is VGT and SPMO. I like SPMO. The more I read about it, the more I like it. Because a while back, I was talking about how I used to buy stocks below their intrinsic value. Find these stocks, using like valueinvesting.io and Alpha Spread, and they'd be well below their intrinsic value. And these are ones that eventually reverted to their intrinsic value or beyond. Man, since the baby's been born, dude, I'm a mess. I'm wearing like pajamas out here. Like my hair's all, I haven't had a haircut in like 3 weeks. So basically what I'm getting at is, and I'd pick these stocks up and I'd hold them for, I don't even know. Sometimes I'd hold them for 2-3 years. And even if the company had a good story, the earnings were increasing, a lot of times they'd never revert back to their intrinsic value. Because there's no sizzle around the stock. There was no momentum. So I kind of like, it does seem like the markets are momentum driven now, especially with bots and ETFs and all the money funnels into the top holdings of the ETFs. So I like SPMO in that sense, that it's a momentum based approach, which I think is pretty good. And then I also have 2 Bitcoins. I used to hold, just 2 weeks ago, I was holding all different kinds of altcoins. I'm just holding Bitcoin now. I do want to have some Ethereum and Solana. But then once I go down the ladder, I'm like, oh, I want Chainlink. I want Avalanche. I want Axelir. I want, you know what I mean? And it's like, next thing you know, I've got like a freaking Pokemon collection. Check out the Supra. Got an email today from Clay. Shout out to Clay at Google. He's my Google business manager. Well, he just sent me an email with a connection, with a link to a document that explains that people that have websites are all upset because they're not getting any traffic. The reason they're not getting any traffic is that AI is responding to 60% of the people's searches. So a lot of people, there's 2 things. One thing is that, yes, AI stuff's going to disrupt the searches. 2, the search is really becoming more for just product based and not product in the sense like things that you want to spend money on, like hotel, physical items, directions. Search would be for that, paid search. When I say directions, I mean like on the map, like a business on a map, like fence company in Tampa. Well, the AI is going to disrupt a lot of informational stuff. Like when people search, like, and then you have a website that's a blog or some kind of thing that displays information, and then you have ads on your site. That's dying big time. But he wants to book a call because there's apparently like a new Google strategy that's going to mitigate this to where people can focus now on AI SEO. And I talked about this in a past video. That's something that people need to really, really, really pay attention to if they're doing e-commerce, is AI related SEO. So like sometimes I'll go, like, I was doing it every day, and I'll tell Gemini, ChatGPT, I'll tell it, this is the best blah, blah, blah company for this. They're amazing. And then I'll ask it, who's the best blah, blah, blah company for, and then it'll give me the response. I'll say, no, that's not true. It's this company. And I'll just do it over and over and over and over and over. And then I told one of our employees, hey, check it one time, ask it. And she's like, oh my gosh, it came back and it said us. And I was like thinking, see, I think if you can train if they're training the large language models off the information on the internet, you can give it more information too. So we can do that through pages on our website, there's probably going to be companies, dude, that just sit and just feed information to the large language models. I don't know how this is all going to work. But being in all this stuff with e-commerce and using a lot of the AI agents and these tools, I'm realizing how quickly it's all going to be disrupted because the actual AI is writing the code. So it's going to be exponential growth. It's going to be way quicker than people think. And it's going to keep accelerating. Technology doesn't go backwards. It just continues to go forward. And it'll go faster and faster and faster. And it's going to get to a point where we can't even comprehend it. They said it'll be equivalent to like an ant trying to understand a flat screen TV. Got that vet. All right, guys, we're back on the streets. This time we're in the truck. Well, we seem to always be in the truck. I need to get back to driving a Porsche. So now we're a little more growth focused. I'm about to head to a Starbucks, grab the laptop. If anybody does e-commerce, if you're higher level and you have the money to spend on tools like Triple Whale, if you guys aren't aware, one of the add-ons that they have, it's for optimizing and sending conversion data to platforms like Klaviyo, Meta, Google. Well, Klaviyo and Triple Whale's integration is called Send. So if you go into your, I know this is a very small portion of people listening to this probably going to be even know what I'm talking about or doing this, but if you do it, it will drastically change your income. If you have an e-commerce business that already has sales and you already have a lot of traffic and you have people come to your website and you already have a lot of profiles on your Klaviyo lists. So if you go into Sonar settings and you connect your Klaviyo account inside of Triple Whale using Sonar settings, once you're inside your Sonar settings, if you go to Send, you click on Klaviyo, you go to Send inside of Sonar on Triple Whale. What you're going to do is you're going to build out Triple Whale triggered flows in Klaviyo. So if anybody's watching and they don't do e-commerce, or if you're interested in e-commerce and you're not sure what I'm talking about, in Klaviyo, when you have a website, you build out what's called flows. So you've experienced it even if you're just a customer. You land on someone's website, you don't buy, you leave. Let's say you were just active on the site. You didn't even click on a product. You're going to get Klaviyo has a flow, and if they have your email because you signed up to a list or a pop-up came up and you put your email in there, you're going to get an email that says like, take 10% off or something about the business. They have different flows set up and they're triggered based on your actions. So the common ones are active on site, product browse or browse abandonment, like you looked at items and left, added to cart, and checkout started. So what you can do is, what Triple Whale does is, Triple Whale is a tool that is installed on your website and it tracks people across all the different platforms that you use because you connect them into Triple Whale. So what happens is Triple Whale might recognize activity on your website from a profile from a person that Klaviyo didn't pick up. So, and I know you guys know what I'm talking about because back in the day, Klaviyo would trigger for everybody's, like abandoned cart, people that landed on the site, and now it doesn't. Sometimes it misses profiles. Sometimes there's people that were active on the site, but it didn't know it. Well, when you set up Triple Whale related flows, so what you do is you go into Klaviyo and you create a new flow. You duplicate your abandoned cart flow. You duplicate your add to cart flow. You duplicate your, your abandoned cart and add to cart's the same thing. You duplicate your checkout started flow. You duplicate your active on site flow. And when you duplicate it, you change the trigger. So if you have Triple Whale connected to your Klaviyo account, when in the trigger, you can just type in Triple Whale and you'll see it'll pull up 4 different options: abandoned cart, browse abandonment, active on site, checkout started. And you just create that as the trigger. But then what you want to do is you need to go in and you need to exclude. I'll get into all this maybe one day. You know what? I want to do like a 4-hour video where I just sit down and I show like, all right, let's build an e-commerce store. I want to actually build an e-commerce store with like just a generic product on AliExpress just for fun to see if we can get sales. I'm spread thin, dude. We've got 4 kids, all this stuff going on. I'm trying to run the business. I'm literally working from like, I drop the kids off at camps in the morning and then I'm working for like 2 hours and I'm back picking them up from the camps. Then I go home, help do the laundry, dishes, all that kind of stuff. Then I try to work on the laptop while I'm around the house helping with the baby. See, the reason I get frustrated is that I know I have the skills because I know what I'm doing in this field and I don't have the time to do it. So I get frustrated. I feel like a killer in a straitjacket. Like I just want to get out because I know I'm vicious and I know I could just dominate, but I just don't have the freaking time. But that's because my priorities are with the family. You know what I realized was a lot of super successful business owners, like if you look at the high level ones like Steve Jobs and all these ones, you rarely find one that was like a family man that stayed with their family. The ones I find that are like good dads, good husbands, I know things happen in people's lives, and it's out of their control. So I'm not saying that. But what I'm getting at is I find those guys, I listen to them a lot because I find that your business becomes like your baby. And a lot of times people sacrifice their family and their personal home lives for the business to keep the baby, nurturing the baby. So I'll leave money on the table to have a solid family set up. So that's what I'm doing daily. But I don't care because the real wealth is in the health and family. But at the same time, e-commerce for me is like my sport. It's like what I enjoy. It's my hobby. And the money that you get from it is just the measurement of how good you're doing at it, the game. And right now I'm losing the game. I'm losing the game, dude. I'm about to forfeit. That's why I was so dead set on SCHD, because it gave me that mental, psychological buffer of like, oh, I've got 50K coming in. So if something goes down, I got a little bit, you know. It's a shame too, because I actually sold all my SCHD just a couple days ago, and the 25th is the last day you have to hold to get the 26th or 30th payout for the dividend. So I didn't get this quarter's dividend payout. But I'm just focusing on growth more now. It's almost like I needed to have a renewing of my mind. That's nice, that Lexus. I wonder what those are like in Japan, like if people hook them up. I feel like it's very easy to feel like you do something for a long, long time, and in your mind the timeline is like, this is the end of it, or I'm getting older, I'm 40, you know, and it's like, it's really just our mindset. I just had to kind of renew my mind to get back to, I'm not old, dude. KFC Colonel Sanders started at freaking 60 some years old. Most business owners start their successful business at 40. So I thought, let me switch out of this mindset. So I've got so many pending invoices from our business partner. Just products, dude. All kinds of products. I'm coming up with ideas left and right. I'm sourcing different materials. I'm trying to get real genuine pearls. The issue with genuine pearls is that you can't really put them on elastic, because the pearls, the inside of the hole of a genuine pearl is too small. And then the other issue is that the quality of a genuine pearl, the color and the shape, can be slightly off from each other. So most pearls you see are like artificial, but I can get artificial pearls at a decent price. But I kind of wanted to have the genuine, real deal thing. I'm trying to create a higher ticket jewelry item for our website. I've already added 2 actually, and they're doing really well. So that's kind of my, I'm just getting back into growth mode. What's up, guys? I'm cooking bacon. Guys, brand new day. Hopping in the truck. Sorry that I'm not driving the Porsche recently. It's been at Vito's forever. I got to get it back. There's just so much going on. I haven't been making it a priority to get it, but I will, I promise. We got to get this channel back to daily driven Porsche, because I know it's kind of boring without the Porsche. It's just me talking. I was going to make a video today saying, all right guys, I'm not posting anymore. I'm tired, I'm burnt out with everything I got going on. But then I thought, you know what? That's when you got to double down.
Ooh, all right. Woo. This is light work. Come on, spill the tea, yeah. Ooh, all right. Woo. This is light work.